First, let me ask you, at what age did you develop a passion for the arts?
It started very young. Dance is in my family, and my sister first started, and so I was that typical little brat that kind of ran into the middle of the studio and started fooling around and goofing off. And my mom thought, well, if she likes it this much, I'll just run in a class and see what happens. And probably around the age of 9, I really started taking things seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom put me in a ballet school that really started to structure what I was going to do.
Okay. And who were some of your early dance inspirations? Like, you know, some people are like Michael Jackson and things like that. Who were some of your early inspirations, or who were you seeing at your age that was inspiring your movements?
It's a little different. I was more of a bunhead. So I was more towards, like, I always thought I was going to dance with Boston Ballet. I was, one of my favorites was April Ball. She was my idol. I thought that's what I wanted to be. After I kind of grew up and experimented and saw a little bit more of what the whole world of dance was, my eyes were open to so many different things. Shelley, the one that you interviewed before,
mm-hmm.
I actually worked with her, and she really introduced me to what the possibilities were. So she was definitely another one of the people that inspires me as well.
Okay. And you said that your mom, you know, had started taking you to class, so I take it that your parents were supportive of your passion?
They were. I mean, after I graduated high school, I kind of jumped the gun and I moved to New York, thinking that I was going to be, you know, we all have that dream of, I'm going to be that rock star, you know. And little did I know living in New York City was not the easiest. I did work study, waited tables, stuff like that. And so, honestly, without the support and love of my parents, it probably would have never even been a possibility.
Okay. And at what point during that struggle did you realize that you had made it, meaning that became a professional dancer?
It was difficult. I found that this is a career choice that you hear more no's than yes. It's kind of a running joke at Giordano's. I had to audition 4 times just to receive a scholarship, to be a full year-round scholarship student. So I honestly really wasn't even thinking it was going to happen or even be a possibility. The first day that I went on tour with Giordano Dance Chicago, I ended up filling in for one of the dancers. And one of the first things I had to do was go on an international tour to Europe. We went to Germany, and when I got there, I barely knew any of the dancers. But that first performance, I will never forget, especially because of their audiences. They are so welcoming, and their responses are so joyous. Like, they stomp their feet on the floor, and they're loudly clapping and sing, and they want encores and stuff like that. But that was my, I guess, pinnacle moment that I knew that I kind of made it. Like, this was it.
Okay. And you had the opportunity to travel overseas. Does this seem like there's more of a respect for the arts overseas, or a love for the passion of the arts overseas than it is during the States?
I think, I mean, it's different. I think within the dance community here, like in the States, we always strive to, you know, it's all about how we take care of each other, you know. And I mean, of course, yes, I do believe that overseas their dancers are looked at much differently than we are, especially in the way that they're just treated and how things are done for them. I have another friend of mine that works over in Europe that, I mean, health benefits, paid vacations, I mean, everything that most of us strive for, just to make sure that we can pay a doctor's bill or, you know, stuff like that. So I think hopefully within time, we are slowly building up to that. But I do see that there is a bit of a gap between overseas and here.
Now, you've had a lot of great moments thus far in your career. What have been some of your favorites?
It's funny you say that. I did one of the Throwback Thursdays on my Facebook and Instagram, and one of them was I was named Dance Magazine's Top 25 to Watch in 2010. And that was, I'll never forget the day, my artistic director called me, and she always has this saying, like, you know, you never know who's watching and who's in the audience, so you have to be, you know, your best at all times. And apparently, I guess, one of the people that, I guess, sort of suggests to say this person I think is good to be a candidate for the Top 25 to Watch was in the audience at one of our shows. And so my artistic director, she goes, you know, you were nominated for one of the 25. And I was like, oh, that's such a great thing. You know, I'm just glad I was nominated and even thought of. And she goes, and you got it. And I dropped my phone. I was in my apartment by myself, of all time. I was in my apartment by myself, dropped my phone, I went running around my apartment, screaming like a crazy kid. And I was like, oh, crap, she's still on the phone. So I went back and I grabbed my phone, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, thank you, this is awesome. Like, that was one of, I think, the best moments I've had in my dance career, definitely by far. And then, I don't know if you saw, but we were also on the cover of Dance Magazine for the 50th anniversary for Giordano Dance Chicago, and that was pretty awesome, too. I did another run around screaming, crying episode.
Yes, it feels good. It feels good when people acknowledge you. That leads me to my next question. Do you feel that there needs to be more dance press or dance media, you know, showcasing the great things that you guys are doing, especially for the dancers that are dancing behind celebrity artists and things like that? You guys help put together these amazing shows, too. Do you feel that there needs to be more of an interest in what you guys are doing?
I mean, I definitely think there is, but I also think, and I give credit to the rest of us, the dancers and artists and everyone else, you know, it's definitely a working business. And so, you know, especially with social media and everything else out there, it's also, you can't expect everyone to do everything for you. You have to also make some things happen for yourself.
Yes. So
I think, in a way, I mean, of course, yes, I do absolutely agree with the fact that we do reserve, you know, a lot of respect and acclimate and stuff like that, but also you have to put yourself out there. You have to and make yourself known, you know, through Facebook, through Instagram, through Twitter, Tumblr, all that stuff. You got to keep putting it out there so that you stay in their face. I mean, this is a career choice of thousands and thousands of dancers, singers, you know, any kind of artist you can find, and it's a struggle, you know. You gotta keep fighting. I always say, if this is something you really want, you gotta be in it to win it.
Yes.
And so you gotta also do your part as well as let them do their part.
Yes, I agree. Now, what advice would you have for kids that, you know, are thinking about dancing professionally, and also what advice would you have for their parents as far as being a support system for them, because not a lot of parents know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, you know, for dancers, and so they might be a little apprehensive about letting them do it, especially at a young age.
Right. I definitely say persistence is the key, especially with having to audition for 4 times. You know, like I said, there's going to be a lot of no's before you say yes. 100% dedication, and you just got to go in and go for it. And a lot of times, you know, for example, I thought when I was younger I was going to be this total bunhead, did the whole ballet thing, studied at Dance Theater of Harlem, thought that was going to be, you know, the beginning of what my career was going to, you know, the trajectory was going to go so far. And then I looked at myself and I was like, this isn't, you know, what I want. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. So do your homework, not only just in what you're looking for and where you think you fit, but also do your homework with yourself sometimes. We think that right away we have the answers and we know what we want to do, and we jump head first into it, and we get there and we're like, well, this is not what I was looking forward to. So it's definitely about the investigation of what's within yourself, what makes you happy, what gratifies you, as well as figuring out what and where you fit into. As far as, you know, you need your parents' full support, love, and guide. Guiding is key word because, like I said, a lot of times kids because they know what they want. And a lot of times parents definitely have to sometimes, you know, be devil's advocate, or, you know, I had that a lot with my parents. Maybe this isn't something that you thought it was going to be, or maybe this is a better opportunity here than over here. You know what I mean? So, like, that definitely has to be there for the child to realize that this could actually be a possibility. This could be something that I could make my career for as long as I possibly can. So.
Okay. And my final question to you is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I know, like you said, that it's a working business and that, you know, it's depending on the jobs that you get. But where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years as far as dance goes?
It's definitely interesting you say that. I am no young spring chicken anymore. I'm getting to that point where the questions have started to come around, like, okay, I can't keep doing this forever. What is it that I'm going to do? And honestly, it's hard to see it. I mean, dance has been such a major part of my life for so long that I know in some way, shape, or form I still need to be involved in the arts because it is such an integral part of who I am. I do love to teach. I teach now. I love to choreograph. I travel around and I choreograph. So maybe that will be part of it. Maybe going into the conventions and teaching and something like that. But I really don't know. I feel like as long as I can keep the many possibilities that I have open. I also love photography. I love to, I'm always behind the scenes when we're out on tour, taking pictures and posting them up onto Facebook and using the Jordana Facebook page and doing that. So I just think that, I don't know, I still some way need to find a way to stay connected with the dance world because it's a major part of me. So hopefully within the next few years I'll be able to figure out exactly what I want to settle down on. But right now I just, I enjoy touring and dancing and performing and entertaining, and honestly couldn't think about having a day without it right now.
Yes, I understand. Is there anyone you would like to thank for helping you on your journey thus far?
Definitely, of course, my strongest supporter would be my mom. Without her, really none of this would have been possible. And even when I was younger, my sister, I would say, taught me. She definitely was my teacher and trained me and started, there's a few years between us, so sister teaching is not the easiest, and I was not the easiest student for her, but just more respect for her than I have for anyone else to take on that responsibility of nurturing me when I was younger. It is definitely key. Without those two, I definitely don't think that any of this would have been possible, for sure. Okay.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for, inviting me to do this. I saw the interview that you did with Shelley, and I thought it was so great, and I even contacted her and said how wonderful it was to see that. So
yes, we think the more that we get it out there.
But I just wanted to say thank you.
No, thank you, because the more voices we get out there, the better, we can help educate, the younger dancers that are going to be coming up, for the next generations. You not to make it easier for them, but to, give them a little blueprint, a little guidance, and the stories that you guys have. Everybody have different paths of success, and all the kids are going to have to do is just listen, and they can pick from it, to help them on their journey. So we appreciate you guys. We're just a vessel.
Well, that's like that's definitely part of like the legacy, though. I feel like a lot of times dancers think that it's like the younger ones are nipping at my heels, and I can't. I still want to hold my spot, and it honestly shouldn't be about that. It should be about you get to a certain pinnacle and point in your career where you have an obligation almost to share everything that you know with the younger generation that's coming up, because they're the ones that are eventually going to take your spot. I mean, as much as you may not want it or like it, you know, that is going to happen, and what better way to prepare them than to share what you know and the knowledge that you have, because it is true, knowledge is power. If you understand and know what you're getting yourself into, the lot easier the transition is going to be for those younger students coming up. So
yes, I
think this is a great way to be able to get that out there and have that voice heard.
Yes, I agree, because you'll be surprised that everybody doesn't think that way. And we've just been blessed, you know, to get people like yourself and others that understand that and have no problem conveying that message, because everybody doesn't think like that. Everything isn't for everybody. So, you know, when we do come across people like yourself and others, you know, we're appreciative of the time that you guys take to even just say anything, because you don't have to. So we definitely appreciate it, and I'm sure others are going to appreciate it too, you know, down the line. So thank you. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you again. I appreciate this, and definitely looking forward to hopefully staying in contact with you and doing more work and getting, you know, the education and knowledge out there. I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.